What is the new normal anyway? None of us know yet, do we? And it's changing as we go. I'm Dr. Libby Kemkaran, and I'm here to be your 5 minutes of kitten bites, a little bit of brain training as we go through these crazy times. And we're now moving on to our next subject matter, which is instinctive reactions. What are our instincts? What do we have hardwired into us? What do we have that is basically in our brain before we even start thinking about how to react to these things? Kick in and they make us do stuff, and that's a bit nuts. So we need to start thinking about how to harness that power, what we can use, what we can change, what we can't change, and how to work with the other humans that are all playing the same game at the same time. So here we go with our new brood. I'm going to introduce you today to these lovely little furballs. So this is a new mummy that we've had arrive with us. She's called Milady, and we've got 4 little kitties, and she's really so much more chilled than the last 2 mummies we've had. I hope we'll get lots of good value out of this little brood. So mummy's got instincts, babies have got instincts. What have we got that plays us like a blooming fiddle that we then have to really sort of work around? So here are our little fur babies, 4 of them as you can see, 2 tabbies, 2 black, and one's got little white paws. Hello Ali, that one's yours. In terms of our instincts, there are a couple of things that we need to remember. We've got an amygdala. We've always got to remember the blooming amygdala. It ruins everything. So the amygdala is the part of our brain that is so tiny. It's the shape and size of an almond, and yet it's our biggest primal driver. We can't control that amygdala. We can only react to it. So when we say someone's triggered, yeah, that's the amygdala. It causes the rush of adrenaline, and that cortisol flood causes a cascade of hormones that then interact with us in a really very dramatic manner. So I was fortunate enough to be invited to speak yesterday at the Climate Coalition, and on the way I was talking about the amygdala hijack and about how it interrupts our conversations, because our conversations are chemical. Everything we do is chemical. So when we're talking to other people, we are either in one of 3 modes. We're either in this transactional mode, that's level 1 conversations, or we're in the positional mode, which is level 2 conversations, or we can move into transformational mode, which is level 3 conversations, but that's only with a bit of work and understanding more about these instincts that drive us. Because we do silverback sometimes, don't we, where we lock into our position and we're desperate to be right even when we're wrong. And we can sometimes be really aggressive about that, and why? Again, it's chemical. So when we understand that conversations are chemical, we can get a lot more traction on what is it we're trying to achieve. So my job as a success coach and a business psychologist is helping people have more effective conversations. That was a great conversation. You just look, you can just see some eyes are appearing, and we've got a couple of eye peeps happening, and they're still at that stage of swimming rather than walking, which is brilliant. So when we talk about having effective conversations, what are we saying? We're saying we can't be addicted to being right, guys. We can't sort of cling on to the sides of our chair and scream in the other person's face and hope to get heard, because a conversation should be about being heard. So our instincts can really hamper us in this area. But how can we harness those and make them more effective for us? Well, here's the thing. Our beliefs set our behaviours, which set our communications. So when we do anything, we've got to go back to that bedrock layer of what are our beliefs? What do we believe? What do we care about? What are our values? Because those are the things that set what we do, and therefore the conversations we have. So it's like this feedback loop, because guess what? We form a new belief after every conversation. So we then have the power to change that, and we have the power to alter our beliefs and then make sense of the world around us. So these little babies, as you can see, are having a good old swim around. They've barely got eyes. Look, if we look up close, you can just about see some eyes appearing there. And so their sensory overload is all about what else is giving me data, what else is telling me what to do. So they're working mostly on smell and touch at the moment. They're remarkably more calm when touching each other. They're remarkably more calm when obviously in sight and smell of mum. Mum is remarkably calm anyway. She's the most chilled mummy we've ever had. So our instincts too are calmed by certain things and made more excitable by others. We'll be going through that in this series as to how we can work with the instincts we've got, but blooming well clobber those ones that aren't helpful to us and form more empowering beliefs and values, and therefore more empowering actions, guys, because that's what this is all about, is finding ways to live better so that we feel better, know better, do better. That's the whole game plan of Tame Your Brain. So I hope that's been fun to meet the new brood. We'll have a look at them all individually tomorrow. We're trying to identify them apart. The two tabbies are remarkably similar. In terms of what we're going to do for this season, we're going to hope to have a decent 5 to 7 minutes every day again. I don't like to do more than that because I think everyone's tired of screens. If this is useful, again, please do join up to my newsletter, which is at kemkaran.com. And they're having a squeak because they're being lifted back into their box now. And sign up to the newsletter. There's an offer coming out every month. I'm also going to be doing a free webinar next week, which will be all about how to know what type your personality is and learn more about yourself, which is so cool, and then how you can apply that to either a business or a career or just to your family. So come along for that. That's going to be on, I believe, Monday night next week, she says wildly. I'll be putting some posts out about that on the page soon, and the newsletter is going to also have a bit more content around that piece. So thanks for coming along, great to see you back, and look forward to learning about these new babies with you. Bye.